Back on the home front, Khalid, there have been reports recently of Craven Week rugby players guilty of doping, some of which are actually sort of underage, so they can't actually sort of be named and shamed, as it were. What can you say about that?
That remains a challenge both for us as SAIDS and for South African Rugby, who we work closely with on that level of rugby, Craven Week, under 19 rugby. The stakes are so high, and it gets higher every year, and the temptation to cheat, to take shortcuts are very real, and athletes are taking it with the encouragement of parents, of coaches, and that's a sad thing. And with our education sessions with schools, and which we do at Craven Week, we address those matters, especially with coaches and parents, the consequences. But again, some people are always willing to take the risk and take the gamble. But we do extensive testing in Craven Week, and South African Rugby has insisted and requested us and urged us to continue quite aggressive testing in Craven Week over the past few years, but that hasn't been a complete deterrence for athletes in terms of cheating or trying substances when they compete or qualify to compete in Craven Week.
And at senior level, sounds like it's still a sort of ongoing scourge with a lot of players. What are some of your latest findings at senior level?
Yeah, on senior level, there is we still are catching athletes. It's not as bad as it used to be a couple of years, and I assume the deterrent effect is working because we've actually increased the number of testing at the senior level. So other athletes are becoming more aware. They understand the consequences and the damage to the commercial viability and long-term careers. So we're hoping that that value starts filtering down to Craven Week, and that athletes are not that willing to take those risks. But we do, in South Africa, we tend to have a very tolerant approach to taking substances that someone just gives you in the gym, rather than being suspicious of it.
And final question, the sort of trend at home and worldwide, is it, in terms of the amount of athletes that are found guilty of banned substances, is it sort of still elevating, or is it plateauing?
Again, it changes. The substances that athletes are taking changes. The list is changing every year and updated. And we also change our strategies and the methodologies that we use. It's not, we do profiles, so we gather blood. We can monitor you over a period like they're doing in the Tour de France now. So you may give a sample in the Tour de France during that week, but months later, samples after that will reveal that you were actually cheating during the Tour de France. So our strategies have become more refined, and so it's difficult to say that it's increased, because we're also testing for different, that has decreased because we're also testing for different substances.
And in comparison to the performances and the amount of records that are broken, is it, does it match up?
I haven't done that, but there are people that are looking into and are very suspicious of some performance, especially in cycling, in athletics. If you take the Tour de France, they're always comparing times and performances to what we refer to as the Armstrong years, and saying, well, if this athlete is clean, why is he doing better than the Armstrong years? So unless we come up with scientific data to prove that the athlete is actually cheating, because you have to control for technology improves, you have carbon fiber bicycles, better training programs, better nutrition. So there are quite a few variables that one has to take into account before making a assumption, a deduction like that.
Okay.